Welcome back, and this time we are going to look at the Mindshift UltraLight Dual 36 liter. So it's in this bag. We're going to do an unboxing and load it with gear. The reason I wanted to try this one out was because it has a separate compartment. So let's get it out of this bag and start looking at it. All right, so far on the first look and feel of this bag, I'm actually really liking it because this fabric is nice and kind of thin. It's why they call it ultralight, I guess. They agreed that because I'm going to have a course on fine art printing, that this can be used to promote that course as a giveaway. I have none of the particulars figured out yet, so just know that this will be a bag going to a viewer, going to someone who signs up for my fine art printing course, and I will put a link in the thing below so you can kind of take a look at that, and when it's available, then you can go and enroll if that's something you want to do. And just again, initially, it just looks really good. It's a little bit larger. This is 36 liters in size, so it's a little bit larger than the backlight that I have. So let's take a look around and see what we have. So we've got the tripod foot. It's just a really small, it's not a little pocket that goes this time like the other ones. So it's just a really small strap that you can attach your tripod to. So we have this little hook, loop, what do you want to call it, out here. And then this thing for just cinching around the tripod legs, but nothing to keep it from completely sliding all the way down. And then we've got another red tab here. So that's going to be the top item. So as far as holding a tripod is concerned, it seems to me it's going to hang more from the top and be able to grip there. And this is more about controlling it from slipping around back and forth. So that's an interesting change on how that works. Once I get the bag loaded, I think I'll go ahead and load the tripod. All right, the main deal here is the gear. Well, this is interesting. We have a little bit of a rubber flap right here. So when it's setting down, there's a little bit of a abrasion protector against the zipper. That's a good addition. I like that. And it doesn't have it on this other side, but we do have this thing here for hooking something on the other side. But, you know, this is the business end. We want to protect it. That's nice. So the separate compartment is a little bit tight, and I think you kind of want it that way. Because the bag otherwise is quite thin, and it's, I mean, look at that. That's a huge cavern for extra things. The reason I really love this idea for a travel backpack is because I could take this on the plane with me, and if I have to throw this underneath, then this can get checked and I'm not going to be worried about it. That's one thing I have to worry about flying out of a small airport. This would not fit in the overhead compartment, so I can check it plane side and pick it up in Seattle when I land in Seattle, but that means the camera gear goes underneath the, you know, in the back with all the other luggage, and that might be a bad thing. But by packing this way, I can have all the camera gear here, carry that on with me, everything else goes in there, and that could work out really well. This does have the ability to also be a pass-through. So I can take this, the floor of this down basically, and let this be just one big cavernous opening for the bag. So that's kind of a nice thing too. I like that. Let's take a quick look at the camera case. So it has this kind of a belt loop type thing that you could attach it to something there. And this even has an extra, oh, look at that. It removes, that extra padding removes. I love it because I think that would get annoying. Mesh pocket here, that's good. This is the strap for this one. So if you are carrying it by itself, you can put that there and you have a shoulder strap to carry this by itself. And then we have a little bit of a loop holder there to attach a little something to. And then different dividers here. One thing that I've been curious about is just the exact nature of how this all fits together. So I'm going to do what I can here right on camera to load my gear, I've got a Canon 5D Mark IV with a significant L bracket and 3 lenses, and I would love to be able to conveniently fit it all in here, and if I can, this is going to be a winner of a bag for me. So we'll get to that in just a moment. But we've got lots of configurability, it looks like, so I think we're going to be in good shape. This is the rain cover, so I'll take that out. I don't want that in there. And maybe I'll borrow one of these, you know, maybe put this in there for something. I don't know. We'll see how it goes in just a moment. We're going to look at the rest of the bag first. So this waist belt is nice and wide, but it's a little bit on the flimsy side of things. But being that it doesn't have to hold a lot of weight like the other one, the other bag by Mindshift, we're probably gonna be all right. Love a little holder here. That's beautiful. That's nice to have. Always putting a little, I don't know, gum. Maybe the cell phone might fit in there. It's got some lashing loops here to put a carabiner on or something along those lines. The sternum strap has a nice thing to slide up and down, so it's nice and adjustable. And then the top here has a really nice, love that for all sorts of stuff. And then a little clip here, that's what I'm looking for that little filter holder I have, which we'll see in a moment. And then this is just really more of your standard backpack type design up here. This is really nice. I'm really enjoying this. So just some stuffing to make it look full. And then here we've got the computer or water bladder holder, and that actually slides all the way down into this compartment here. So it's a pass-through all the way down, and it needs to be big enough because otherwise your computer just isn't fitting in that spot there. So let's see about getting this thing loaded and see how it goes. I'm really excited to see what we can do here. I think to give the bag a little more of that structure, that body, I'm going to go ahead and put this back in it. That is slightly difficult to do, but I would rather it be like this than just slide in and out really easily. I know it's secure in there, and I'm really happy to see that. If you did this in the airport, that would probably be kind of annoying. This has a little flap here, so I'm going to add this to it. So then I only have one zipper to have access to my gear. So by doing that, when I zip this around, it secures the gear, and I have one zipper to undo rather than also do that flap in addition. Now again, I could throw this flap back in here for additional protection, and we'll just see if I think I need that. I'm not convinced I'm going to need that. All right, so I'm going to load things in from my standard kit bag. It's the Tenba DNA 13-inch. And let's see how it goes. This is probably going to take a little bit of kind of finagling and wrestling around. So you're going to see a few more of the speed ups things, and I'll stop it and talk about it, and then I'll speed through and go like that. So the main kit is going to be the 5D Mark IV. Right now it's attached to a 2470 f4 with image stabilization, 1635 f4 with image stabilization, and then 70 to 300 f4, 4.5, something like that, to 5.6 with also image stabilization. So I got to fit all that in here and have it nice and convenient access. So right away, I'm looking and saying, this fits pretty nice in there, but could it go this way? And it looks like it can. But see, one of the problems, I'm wanting to hopefully have convenient access. So if that's buried all the way in there, that's not going to necessarily be convenient access. So we're going to see what we can do, and I'll pause and talk through things as I'm figuring this stuff out, okay? I think I've got it. So let's go through this. I I think I was able to not waste very much space. Oh, I forgot to mention we've got a water bottle holder over here too. So that can be kind of nice, and my small water bottle is dwarfed by it. All right, enough distraction. Let's get back to what the main deal over here is. This is going to be interesting because this came with it and I didn't use it. This came with it and I didn't use it. This one was the strangest one because it covers the whole thing, and it's almost like it was designed to split the whole compartment in half, and I didn't really care for that. So let's see what I have here, and I'll go really detailed with how I have it configured, and then hopefully this helps you decide whether or not this is a good bag for you. So with opening it up, I decided to put the camera in that way. Now, of course, it could flip around the other side. It doesn't really matter in that regard. So that part's useless, or, you know, it doesn't care. It's fine. So I have the camera this way, but I was fearful that I was going to lose out on some space, just waste some space, because this is so deep. And I wanted to put something down there below the camera that made sense. And I think I found a solution that it makes sense for what I'm shooting. And I really like how I think I like how this is coming together. I need to go out on a shoot with it, of course, and see what I can do here. But let's take this out. So the camera first, that's all good. This, I didn't move. This came this way from the factory, this divider here. And so I then have the rain cover right there next to this lens here, and I think that's important just to keep that from, you know, jostling about. I'm going to have the rain cover with me anyway, and I could always stuff something else here that's padded. So, you know, whatever I have here, something has to be there to keep this from jostling about, because I don't want it to come and hit the lens that's beneath it, and I'll show you that in a moment. The other thing that I'm kind of wishing we had was the sides of this divider here, and then the bottom, and then on the top, it's the smooth fabric. It's not the kind that the Velcro can attach to. So we only have Velcro attachments on there and on there. And I kind of wish that wasn't the case, because if I could go crosswise, this would be spot on. That'd be beautiful. So the rain cover, and then notice in here, I've got a partial coverage of a divider, but it's not going the whole way. And the reason I liked that idea is because I'm going to be using the camera quite a bit, of course. It's going to be out, and so I can easily throw this up into this compartment here, but this gives me super easy access to this lens. And that just flips up out of the way, and then I have super easy access to this lens that just slides in right underneath, and then that goes down, and then this can sit on top of that. And then here we have that to keep it from sliding about, jostling about. So I like how that ended up. It's convenient enough, it's protected enough, it's working out. I'm okay with that, it's beautiful. So let's take that back out. And then again, that's just really deep, that's nice. But you can see here, oh, I should say, this particular divider, this flippy divider that I have here, this came from the Backlight 26 bag. So I had 3 extras that I didn't use in the Backlight 26, so this came from that. And so this required a slight adjustment by having something come from a different bag. All right, let's take a look at why this is so shallow. This particular piece did come with this bag, and it's long enough to stretch all the way across, and it's about this width here, so that works pretty well. And so what I have are my 2 battery chargers, one on either side, and then right in the middle I've got my filter pack. And I don't usually, you know, I don't access my filters a whole lot, but I figured when I'm in the field, I'm going to be okay with it being that buried, because I just don't access it a whole lot. If I needed access to it, I'll just toss it up here in the upper compartment. So yeah, I think this is going to work pretty well like that. And I cannot wait to get out shooting with this bag, because I might decide to keep this bag instead. This is really nice. So this protective flap, if I wanted to put that in there, I can have that extra layer of padding. What's that, a 1/4 inch or so? Extra 1/4 inch of padding to give it a little extra protection. That's not too bad. I kind of like, I do like that. Good stuff. I love options in bags. I just wish there was the, the best one that fit everything we always ever needed. So let's load the other stuff in the bag and see how much room I have left over. So I'll start with the computer. And this is going to sink all the way down. There we go. So that is against the back here. So that means the weight is going to be nice and close. I do like that. The weight will be nice and low of the camera gear. I do like that. It's going to work out really well. Oh, I missed a little thing here. I've got a little mesh compartment right here. They really did well in thinking it out this bag. So my iPad probably isn't going to do too well fitting in here. I mean, it will easily fit fairly loosely there if it's just up against the back, but there's nothing to secure it into place. And if I try and put it into the computer compartment, I suppose it can slide in there, but it's going to eventually kind of wiggle its way down. So I just want to be careful about that and think a little more about that probably. I'll go ahead and put the pen in this mesh pocket here. And then it's just go time with the other stuff. So this is where I need to think about, what other gear do I need to bring with me? For instance, on this particular shoot, I need to bring this lens with me. If I'm going to do some astro work, I want this lens to come along. So I'm not going to just throw it in there by itself, but it obviously cannot fit down in this main area here. It's going to have to go up here. Since this is a very special use lens, I'm not concerned about having to access it here. I just need protection for it. So that might be where I would wrap it up in this thing. This is just a pack towel. The Fuji camera that I'm recording on right now is also going to come with me. So I would have to have some kind of little neoprene wrap or something like that for the camera. And then this is the batteries and whatnot for that camera. I'll put these in the mesh pocket as well. And then this thing is my batteries for the Canon camera. And then I've also got a portable hard drive that I can just plug my SD cards into, hit a button and it records them, copies them off. And don't want to forget my new memory card wallet. And since this has a little clip thingy, somewhere in here there was a little loop. Maybe it was in a different compartment. But this also has a top cinch strap, so I can connect that and draw it tight. That's beautiful. These foot warmers. And then my socks in case I find water that I want to walk in. This will keep my feet nice and warm and relatively dry. And I still have room for a jacket or a sweater or something extra to go in there. And I still got plenty of space for putting things up here. So that's where the little essentials might end up going. Oh, here's where that little clip was. That might work for that. That's a filter. This is a filter for the 70 to 300. I may not even be taking that lens though. I might go for the 1 to 400, and so that would change my configuration up possibly if it doesn't quite fit in the same location. I love a top compartment like this. Absolutely love it for rags and stuff like this. So I'm really, really liking the potentials that this bag has. And even a filter like this is where I would put that filter and a few extra accessory type items. Here's my actual memory cards. Can't forget my filter wrenches. So I'm going to do one last thing, and that is load my memory cards. All right, so that's done. The Secure Pixel Pocket Rocket, and I even put my little multi-tool type item. Looks like a key, but it's a little flathead screwdriver type item, whatever. Does that fit in there perfectly? So this then belongs up here now. All right, one last thing, that is to put it on, see how it fits, see how it wears, and also then, you know, gear access on the side like that. So let's take a look. So now for gear access, this is one where you actually do release and just leave it on one shoulder and then go around like so, pull it out, and then get to shooting. And I feel I like that design better. So I'm going to test both of these bags out on my upcoming trip, and I'm going to try and give each one a really fair shake, and we'll see what happens. Between this one and the backlight 26, this is the UltraLight 36, and you saw how all that gear fits in there really well. I love the feel of this fabric. There's lots of things that are really going good in this bag. So thank you to ThinkTank Photo for providing this bag, and also for providing it as an incentive giveaway for my upcoming fine art printing workshop. Actually, it's an online course. I'm also doing it as a workshop here in town in Walla Walla, so I've got links down below that you can check that stuff out. And then there's also going to be a virtual workshop option where you can take a look at that and see if that's for you. What that's about is you get the video downloads and you progress through like a standard course online, but then you're going to get my specific help and guidance otherwise. So if you have challenges and you want some feedback, especially feedback is important when it comes to printing, then you'll have an option to be able to send those prints to me, and I can give you very specific feedback on the exact technique that you're doing, and we can help guide you in the right direction. So there's gonna be 3 options: just standard course, virtual workshop that has the ability to have me look over your shoulder virtually, you know, through Skype or whatever, sending in those prints as well, or coming right here to Walla Walla. We'll shoot in the Walla Walla Valley, and then we'll spend our time during the day actually diving deep into the print process and the like. Take a listen to the podcasts I have as well. Also links below. That is the Master Photography Podcast and the Latitude Photography Podcast. And then that's pretty much it. It's a great bag. I hope you enjoyed all this. And until next time, happy shooting.